Peace, everybody. Welcome to another stream. Today is a debate stream. So I will be allowing people to come up and to debate me whether Sahih Hadith is part of Islam, whether the Quran is not sufficient. So today is a debate stream. I am live on TikTok and I will be, is not, let me see, Hadith other than the Quran is not Islam. Isn't Hadith is not from God. Boom. Let's see. Let me put that there. Peace. Peace, Mujahid. Peace, Halal. I don't want to debate. I just want to say I have the same view as you. Thank you. Wowie. Wowie, wowie, wowie. Peace, brother. Peace, everybody. May God bless you all. Thank you very much. Yeah. Peace, Sister Yada. Roman, Abdullahi. Peace. Salam. Nice to see everybody. Of course, we're going to see if somebody catches the bait today and tries to show how the Quran is insufficient. But these people are just yappers from far. Quran centrism makes sense as long as you engage with it in a way that you put the Quran first. So if you are going to look at other sources in regards to the understanding of what the Quran states, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you're going to take your halal and haram from outside of the Quran, then there is something wrong with that, because then you're judging by what God has not sent. Hey Muhammad, it's been a month. I also has become a Hadith rejector. Or instead of calling yourself a Hadith rejector, you have become a believer. May God bless you, man. That's how the truth works. It's better than sectarianism. Thank you, Adam. I appreciate you. Looking forward to your cooking session every time. Yeah, we'll see what goes on today. Let me see. Guys, I know a lot of people have questions, but today I'll try to keep the questions at a minimum. Peace, Ilyana, my love. Garcia. Peace, Abu Azia.
Hello.
Gracias. Hey.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I'm good. I'm a Shia, and you're a Quranist, or?
I'm a believer.
Yeah, some. So I have a question. Do you pray?
I pray.
Okay, how?
By what the Quran states.
Wow, how?
The Quran, does it have verses in regards to the prayer? Yes.
Bro.
So the Quran has verses in regards to prayer on how to do the prayer. God has told you about the Qibla if you're a person that is going to face the Qibla. The God has told you about the wudu, which is in chapter 5, verse 6. God tells you what he is requiring from you in the prayer, which is reciting the book, standing, prostrating. And there God has also given you the formula in what he accepts as supplication, as dua. God told you not to be very loud in your prayer, not to be silent in your prayer, but to find the middle way. God told you not to invoke upon anyone else in your prayer. Do you invoke upon anyone else in your prayer?
I'm not so good in English. What does that mean? I'm
Do
German.
you call upon other than Allah in your prayer?
No.
Okay, if I say peace be upon you, user 617, am I talking to you or am I talking to God?
What do you mean?
If I say hello user 617, am I talking to God or am I talking to you?
No, you're talking to me.
So how come in your prayer you say peace on you, O Prophet? Why are you talking to the Prophet directly? Why aren't you talking to God?
No, it's good to say
Peace.
the peace on the Prophet because he's holy.
Do you know the difference between me saying peace on the Prophet and the state? So one statement is peace on the Prophet. The second statement is peace on you, O Prophet. What is the difference?
The difference is that you talk straight to the Prophet, and
the other one is you're sending peace to the Prophet, right?
Yes.
So why would you talk straight to the Prophet in your prayer when the Prophet cannot hear you? When God told you not to talk straight to a dead man or a person in his grave?
So we say peace be upon you, O the Prophet. Okay.
Yeah. Peace be upon
we
you, O
mean
Prophet.
yes. We
Yeah.
mean
Mhm.
we mean like, bro, my English is so bad, bro.
Blessings on the. I know the argument, my brother. I don't think you understand what I'm saying. Is God very precise in the Quran? Is His language very on point?
But what is your problem with the Hadith?
The problem with the Hadith is that the Hadith contradicts the Quran. God has not permitted us to find religious authority outside of the words that He sent. That the Hadith, it brings down the honor of the messenger. It puts lies that the messenger said and did things that he didn't. The Hadith contradicts itself. The Hadith is a compilation of men, while the Quran was compiled under the vision and supervision of God and His messenger. The Quran was obviously filtered by God and what God wanted to say, but nobody filtered what Bukhari, Muslim, or Al-Kafi wanted to write down.
No.
No? Who filtered
but-
Al-Kafi's book?
No. I wanted to say something.
Okay.
Hadiths are just brother, do you speak German or something like that?
9.
Well, can I check what it's mean in English? I come right back.
I'll wait. There's a lot of Sunnis in the peace, Sister Barry. There's a lot of Sunnis in Taha is not a person. Taha is literally 2 letters. So Taha is not a name of a person. There's literally so many Sunnis in the chat, but they won't come up here and talk. Hadith says trim your mustache and keep the beard, bro. Trim your mustache. Oh, the Hadith tells you to trim your mustache. Okay, thank you. Peace, Sister Melanie. Melanie in the house. What's up? Follow the Prophet, yes.
Yes.
Mhm.
Yeah. Now I can bring you verses where he says we should listen to the Prophet.
You mean obey the messenger, right?
No, listen to the Prophet.
Okay, let's say we have to listen to the Prophet. Sure. How do we do that?
In narrations, what the Prophet said.
What did what did the messenger say?
Like I'm not Sunni, I'm Shia.
Hey, I forbid this on myself. Then that was from God. And then God's saying, why did you do that? So God told him to do that, and then God got him admonished because he did that. So what you're saying makes no sense. But my brother, I think that there's a language barrier between you and me. This conversation is not going as smoothly as it should be.
Yes, I understand it.
So I appreciate you coming up. I think I would like to move on to
Thanks.
the.
Can you show me real quick a video where you can do how you pray? I
Yes.
just want to see.
Yes, I do have a video on how the prayer is done. You simply go to my YouTube, which has the same name as my account here on TikTok, and I have a video. I'll put it on the screen for you so that you could watch it in your free time and see how the Quran does tell you how to pray using the Quran. And do you speak Arabic?
Yes.
You speak Arabic?
No. I cannot. I can speak it, but I don't know what it means. You know.
Okay, so
I need to always look at the.
So when you read the Quran in Arabic, do you know what the Quran is saying, or no? You have to read it in a different language.
What does it mean?
In a different language, translate it.
Yes.
I understand you. That's good, bro, because God is telling you, like when you're praying, you have to know what you're saying. If you're reading
of course.
Perfect. So here's my video in regards to how I pray. It's how do you pray? Prayer according to the Quran without any other hadith books. I think YouTube has the ability to translate it for you in German.
Okay.
SubhanAllah.
Bro, thank you for the respectful conversation.
I appreciate
and I learn about it more.
All right. Have a good day, my good brother.
Thank you.
Alaikum salam. Hassan and hands. I accept authentic hadith only. Hassan, do you accept authentic hadith as well?
This is why I actually came up. I really wanted to talk to you. I have like recently got into like the Quranist bubble, and I really wanted to talk to you about, like, what made you, believe in what you believe, and
Right.
because I was like in a live stream with like bunch of Sunnis. I'm a Sunni. I would describe myself as a Sunni too, but I was always like a person who said that like most hadiths which are not compatible with the Quran, I wouldn't accept them.
You reject them.
Yes.
Yes.
So they called me a kafir, so and then I found you.
Yes.
Then I found you.
Welcome to how those Sunnis operate. So if you ask them very simply, and there's a hadith that states that every black dog should be killed. If they agree with that, then they should be doing it, but they don't do it. So they rejected a hadith, they're kafirs, right? That's how it goes. Okay, so there's a hadith that states that if somebody pulls a sword on another believer in battle and he kills him in a battle, both the person who died and the person who fought him, they both go to hell. So, but there's a Quran that states to fight. When two believers fight the one that transgressed. So apparently God is ordering me to fight Muslims and possibly kill them in a war, and I get to go to hell by following God's command. And
That makes no sense.
absolutely, it makes absolutely very little sense. The Quran has a verse to every situation that you're in. So in the war that was happening in Syria, God is telling us about how the oppressors are going to oppress each other, how when they divide their religion, they're going to attack each other, that if somebody is an oppressor, that you should go fight against the oppressor. People chose not to do so. There's a lot of lies, a lot of stealing, a lot of inheritance, eating each other's inheritance. And God is telling you the consequences. So this is all in the Quran. But then we have hadith that tells you do not do anything until the Mahdi comes, okay? And this is what God planned anyways. All these rulers, even if they beat you in the back and take your money, you can't say no to them because they're Muslim leaders. You see what I mean? But here's what I want you to understand. So during the civil war, do you think Assad was right, or do you think the other side was right?
To be honest with you, like I was like probably a kid when the war started. I was 11 years old. When I left Syria, I was 15. Like during that time, I believe that both sides were kind of like on a wrong.
They're both devils, but there's one bigger devil than the other.
Yeah,
Okay,
100%.
That's exactly what it was. But we saw the atrocities of the Assad regime after he fell, like the prisons and what they were doing, and the mass killings and the graves and stuff. That this is the government that was in place for close to 60 years, correct?
Yes.
Do you know what Wizarat al-Awqaf is? The Ministry of Religion?
Yeah.
Who was teaching the population a religion? It was the Assad regime.
Yes.
So this oppressor was the one controlling what people should learn and what people shouldn't learn in the religion. So do you think that they would have given you the right religion? No. They
weren't.
They were pushing people to idolatry, to shirk, so that they would stay scared and stay under control. See what I mean?
So you think it's like the kind of same concept when it comes
back
to
in the day. Yes. So the hadith originally was a tool to subvert the people. Because for me to control you, I need you to commit shirk. And you need to accept my lie to you. I won't do the shirk, but you'll do the shirk. And if you do the shirk, then I control you. Because I know you have disconnected from God. That's the biggest tool that the devil does. Okay? That's what literally all the Jewish people that are evil, that's what they do. I'm not going to watch and consume porn, but I'm going to control the porn and I'm going to allow everyone else to have it because then I control them. So this is what the hadith was. It was a subversion of religion.
The problem with those people, like when you bring this argument, like, they always kind of, look, these hadiths are sahih, therefore
prove it.
This is like the literal word of the Prophet. We have to follow it.
Prove it. You're telling me it's sahih. Okay, prove it. Oh, because so and so said so. That's not proof.
Yeah.
That's not proof. Okay. For example, in the Quran, if there's a crime and somebody says that somebody hit me, okay? Or somebody hit somebody, how many witnesses do I need in a court for them to get punished?
Oh my God, I've read that. Four. It was four. I wasn't like about five or four. Yeah, four.
When it comes down to contracts, al-aqd, I need two, either two males or one male and two females. Okay.
Yes.
So now we're talking about religion. Okay, I'm talking about not punishment and justice and between people. I'm talking about
And
something more
yeah.
important: hell and heaven, religion.
Yes.
Why would I take the narration of one person? I need
You are
4.
right.
Forget the 4. I need minimum 2. 2 people witnessing that the messenger said, so they both come to me and tell me, so that they would both be as collaboration. The majority of hadith, 95 to 98% of sahih hadith is ahad.
It's like one person.
There in the chain, it leads back to one person. It does not follow Quranic methodologies of verifying testimony.
Yeah. So like, one interesting thing that I have also read about is like the Quran actually telling us not, or the Prophet himself telling us not to follow what he said, but more like just the Quran. Is it like, is that right?
Yeah. So one of the most mutawatir hadith. Okay.
Yeah.
So one of the most mass transmitted hadith.
Mhm.
Whoever writes about me other than the Quran should erase it and narrate about me. Okay. And whoever fabricates a lie about me should prepare his place in hell.
And hell, but they will probably say that was like for a certain period of time, but
Prove
then
it.
it was.
Prove it.
Yeah,
Prove it.
I can, and they can't probably.
No,
too,
they're gonna
but-
say it's a scholar opinion because there's 2 hadith, and we're gonna. This is more doesn't.
But
work
that
out.
makes no sense. You know, you see the contradiction like when it lays. You know, when the Prophet himself is like telling you at some certain point of his, you know, work that you shouldn't be writing any stuff like about him,
Right.
and you do like the same exact thing after he died.
But at the same time, we know that the hadith is a historical book. So there is some elements to history. There's some elements to, so elements of history. There's some elements of lies and fabrication. There's also some biographies. There's certain things that can be extracted from hadith. And there's some stuff that we can learn about history. So now we know Uthman, right? He's a companion of the messenger. He lived and learned with the messenger. صح?
Yes.
He's attributed by the West and by Islamic scholars or modern Islamic scholars as the person who codified the Quran or standardized the Quran. صح?
Yes.
We have no historical records of Abu Bakr, Umar, Uthman, Ali, Muawiyah, and the guy after Muawiyah ever compiling, standardizing, or making a canonical hadith. And these are the closest of the Prophet's companions.
Yeah, they never like did that. That like what made me a bit confused, you know.
So if they're saying there is a transmitted hadith, don't write about me other than the Quran, it seems that the earlier generation stuck to that rule.
Yeah. So why shouldn't we?
Because God didn't choose for us to preserve that stuff. He chose to preserve the Quran. And you know why?
Why?
If the Prophet alayhi salawatu wassalam, if he's alive today, would he live the same way he lived in 1400 years ago?
Absolutely not.
So the sunnah would be different.
Yep.
Okay.
So you know what? Like what also like fascinates me about like this entire concept of only like believing in the Quran is the, you know, when you look at the Sunnah or how it's like built, when you look at those hadiths that there are like they are here like that we are reading every time, it just gives me more like we kind of start to look like more Christianity, you know, all the you know all the like informations we know about Jesus in the Bible is like from like it's like kind of it's like what people said about Jesus, you know,
Right.
and the hadith is like just the same thing.
Habibi, do you know why the name of the wife is not mentioned in the Quran? Like if you're going to look at the Quran, it doesn't say the names of the wives of the Prophet. صح?
No, it doesn't.
Why?
Why should like it's not necessary?
Because you're not going to be asked about it on the day of judgment. It is not
Of course.
pertaining to your religion. The Quran is a book of religion. It's not a book of history. So, but what is Sunnism? Sunnism is based on history. They just tell you history. This is what this guy said. This is what this guy did. This is what this guy said. This is what this guy did. There's nothing about what they're saying from the Quran as a moral lesson. God didn't tell you the timeline when Musa lived. He didn't tell you the timeline when Ibrahim lived, because all of this is unnecessary. What's necessary is the moral lesson in their stories, the stories that he narrated to us.
Yeah.
Okay.
صح.
So that's exactly what the religion is about. And what they do is exactly what the Christians and the Jews do. They give victory to men. They don't give victory to God. And God says, وَقَالَ الرَّسُولُ إِنَّ قَوْمِ اتَّخَذُوا هَذَا الْقُرْآنَ مَهْجُورًا. And the messenger will say that my people have taken this Quran forsaken. How many hadiths do you, when you go to the Jum'ah prayer, how many hadiths do you hear? And how many
A lot.
verses do you hear?
Only probably while praying.
I'll tell you. إن الله يأمر بال إن الله يأمر بال استغفر الله العظيم. إن الله ينهى عن الفحشاء والمنكر. Okay, that's the one. إن الله وملائكته يصلون على النبي.
Nabi.
Okay, and then the other one خلقكم من نفس واحدة. Right. Those are three. The three ones that they oftenly repeat. But there's absolutely no time where they say there's this verse in the Quran. This is what it means for you and today.
Yeah. I also have a point that I'm sorry if I'm like talking a lot. It's just I'm very fascinated like by your work, you know. I also like have, you know, since I started, you know, since I started like getting myself into like this entire topic, I also like was observing like stuff that I never seen before, which is the way like people review the Prophet himself. You know, it's kind of like they put Muhammad on like a same scale as Allah.
Jesus. It's Jesus.
Yeah,
It's
yeah, but
Jesus.
they do the same thing to Muhammad. You know, it's just
My brothers.
what
Christians say. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you. Christians say that if you say that Jesus died on the cross, you go to heaven. They say
Yes.
that on the day of judgment, Jesus is their intercessor. Christians,
Yes.
when they pray, they say that when they pray, they mention Jesus and they talk to Jesus directly. If you ask them who's the best man that ever lived, they will tell you Jesus. If you ask them, is there any other man that's going to come after Jesus that's important? They say, no, that's it. There's nothing after Jesus. But now with the Muslims, if you say Muhammadan Rasulullah with the Shahada, you go to heaven eventually, which is haram and kufr. That Muhammad is the intercessor on the day of judgment. No one else has the intercession except him. We have also the concept that in your prayer, you have to talk to Muhammad directly. We have the concept that Muhammad is the best man ever and that there is nothing after Muhammad. So they treat him like the son of God, but they don't call him as one.
Yeah, but what's interesting, like, when you look at the Quran, it tells you like directly, like the Prophet is like, وَإِنَّمَا أَنَا بَشَرٌ مِثْلُكُمْ يُوحَى إِلَيَّ. This is what the Quran says. Like,
Right. I'm just a human.
So this is what, you know, like Hadith and the Quran goes like sometimes like they contradict each other like at some time.
Oh my brother, you would be shocked at how much of the Hadith passively or intentionally contradicts the Quran. Give me 1 second, okay? I want to show you a special hadith that I hold.
Please.
I love this hadith, okay? I call this the UFC hadith, okay?
The UFC. You said you are from Halab. Which district?
محافظة نفسها.
Muhafaza. Cool.
Duwal Pullman.
Yeah, I went to kindy school in Mogambo.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I lived in Siryan Jadida.
أنا ما عشت كتير هناك بس كنا نزور كل صيفية.
Cool.
I did live.
So you were
live like
born
a year and a half there.
So you were born in the West, like
لا بسوريا.
Syria. Okay.
I didn't come to the West up until I was 16, 17.
Oh, so just like me.
Here, bro. So let's see if I can put this on the screen. Let's read this together, my brothers and sisters. But let me put it on my YouTube as well so that my brothers there can see it. So let me see. Is this it? There it is. I love this hadith. This is the UFC hadith. Okay? So you know that the Prophet, everywhere he went, his companions were with him. صح?
Yeah.
If he was in the mosque, would people come and pray with him? Or would he be in the mosque by himself?
Probably people would come along and pray with him.
I mean, if they are narrating everything about him, they're following him. If he's leaving his house, they follow him. If he's sleeping with his wives, they're trying to see how many wives he's sleeping in the night. Then he has absolutely no privacy. But at his house, we can understand that they're not there. But are they going to leave him alone in the mosque?
Probably not.
Of course not. I mean, from the way that we understand. Now let's read this hadith together, okay? So UFC hadith. The Prophet said, this is Abu Hurairah, one of the most problematic hadith narrators. Okay, guys, listen to this. The Prophet said, a strong demon from the jinns came to me yesterday suddenly, so as to spoil my prayer. But Allah enabled me to overpower him. And so I caught him and intended to tie him to one of the pillars of the mosque so that all of you might see him. But I remembered the invocation of my brother Solomon, and grant me a kingdom such as shall not belong to other than me. So I let him go cursed. So he was praying, the Prophet was praying, and a jinn came to try to ruin his prayer. So they started to fight. Okay?
Yeah.
And after they fight, the messenger overcame him. And he wanted to tie him up, but he remembered, he goes, oh, Solomon said that he wanted a kingdom that no one else will have. If I have one jinn under my control, I would be competing with Solomon and I would break the word of God. So I'm going to let this jinn go. Even though Solomon had plenty of jinn, not just one jinn under his control. But you see how he's playing UFC, he wants to tie him in the mosque, the jinn is playing with him when he's praying, and nobody came to hear who the messenger was fighting. The messenger was choke slamming a jinn in the mosque and nobody heard it.
That is, yeah, I don't know. Especially when you hear it's like from Abu Hurairah, it's just...
As soon as I see this name, I know it's game over, bro.
How do you pray? I have to watch this video. Like, you think there are like differences between
Their
the way...
Yeah, 100%, bro. The stuff that they do in their prayer is not what God told us in the Quran.
Okay.
وَلَا تَجْهَرْ بِصَلَاتِكَ وَلَا تُخَافِتْ بِهَا وَابْتَغِ بَيْنَ ذَلِكَ سَبِيلًا. Do not be loud, excessively loud in your prayer, and do not be silent in your prayer, but find the middle way, okay? So Fajr, when we're in Jama'ah, is it Jahran or Samtan? It's normal. That's okay. Yeah, it's a middle way. That's right. Okay, what about Dhuhr and Asr? Are they silent?
They are not.
They're silent. Dhuhr and Asr?
You mean Dhuhr Asr? Yeah.
God told you not to be silent in your prayer.
It's sunnah.
No, if you ask them why, wallahi, if you ask them why, they will tell you that during the time of the Prophet, the kuffar, the rejectors of Quraysh, they used to get drunk at around 12 o'clock and in the afternoon, okay? And when they used to hear the Quran, they would insult the Quran and whoever sent the Quran. So the Prophet chose to stay silent in the Dhuhr and Asr so that they wouldn't insult the Quran, okay? It's 2026. Are the Quraysh still drinking outside and waiting for you to recite the Quran to insult you? No. So why are you following that sunnah?
Yeah, this is... It's funny. Like, I do really like... It's like brings someone like to confusion sometimes. It's just...
That's the whole reason why they have it, bro. The devil could not touch the Quran. So his only angle was the hadith.
Oh, this is a strong statement. If you think about it, it is actually also true. The only book God like kept reserved is actually the Quran, or promised to be keeping reserved is the Quran, not the hadith.
He said he's preserving the remembrance, and he says, "Wal Qur'ani dhil dhikr." So the Quran that contains the remembrance. So this is where the concept "Hatta Malik Yawmiddin" or Malik Yawmiddin, the king of the day of judgment or the owner of the day of judgment, the dhikr is the same. So this is exactly what we witness. Even Western academics will tell you that the Quran is highly preserved. It's something that they can attest to, but they will tell you that the hadith science is a joke and it's not something that they take seriously.
Yeah, this is very, like, as I said, I really got myself newly into this stuff. I will read more about it and I will listen to some of your videos and your I don't know if you have like some writings or stuff. Like, I will get myself into it.
I do videos, bro. They're on my YouTube. They're on my TikTok. There's another good brother. His name is Baba Shuaiba.
Baba Shuaiba. All right.
He's good to listen to. There's a sister. Her name is Noor Melanie. She's good to listen to. My wife as well. Her name is Ilyana, or the Submitter online. She's also a person who produces videos, and she has a Spanish as well. So there's a few people.
Cool. Hey, thank you so much. Thank you so much, like, for talking to me, and actually wasting your time. Like you actually were awaiting someone to debate with, but I just wanted to learn more.
They run, Habibi. But I appreciate you.
Thank you so much.
Salam.
Salam.
All right, brother. So Dr. Sean Murphy. Dr. Sean Murphy.
Ayo, you are kafir, man. Chill out.
Dr. Sean Murphy is coming here under a different name, and he's going to say, "Ya kafir, chill out."
Wallah, you're a kafir, bro.
And he's swearing to God that I'm a kafir.
Uqsim billah, you're a kafir, bro. What do you mean you reject every hadith?
Prove it.
There's a verse in the Quran
Yeah.
that says
Mhm.
whatever the Prophet Muhammad teaches, you have to accept. How do you pray?
Bring
How do you
that
pray?
verse. Bring the verse where it says, "Whatever the Prophet teaches, you have to accept." Bring that verse.
Not exactly. It says something like the
No, it
Prophet's
says you're trying.
teachings.
You're trying to say
Does it
whatever.
not say that?
There's the verse that you're looking for, Mr. Dr. Sean Murphy, is whatever the messenger has given you, take it, and whatever he has forbidden you
Exactly.
from. Yes, but do you know what that verse is in context about?
Okay, well, it doesn't matter. It says it.
Oh, it doesn't matter. It
explicitly.
does matter. It does matter because
Okay,
God.
what is it? What does it mean?
It's about the war bounty. So war bounty was there was a war that ended. The Muslims won. And there was fat, so war bounty that was left behind. God states that a fifth of it is for God, the messenger, or no, it's for God, the messenger, the poor people, the relatives. So it does not circulate among the rich people among you. And whatever the messenger gives you, take it.
Okay,
And whatever.
so you're saying
So what is it about? Is it about hadith books?
Okay, I get you, but you saying the Prophet ever lied?
My brother, the prophet and the messenger.
Could he lie?
The prophet and the messenger didn't lie, but Abu Huraira can lie. You understand
Okay.
that? Ibn Anas can lie. Other people can lie. There's nothing stopping those people from narrating falsehood, which I
You
clearly
pray 5
showed
times?
you. I pray 3 times.
Okay, the Prophet prayed 5 times.
Prove it.
So you're contradicting. the
I'm not
Prophet
contradicting. Where did he know how to pray 5 times from?
Who, the Prophet?
Yeah, he went up in the sky and he negotiated with
No,
God.
he's a messenger of God.
Yes,
Allah.
the story according to your paradigm is he went into the sky, God told him it's 50 prayers, and then he's...
And Musa alayhi wasalam made it 5.
Why? No, Musa didn't make it 5. Musa told to
No.
Muhammad, go back and debate your God, argue with God that I know...
Well, Musa helped him out.
Yeah, Musa said, I know your people cannot do it. But Allah, that knows everything, he didn't know. Musa needed to tell Muhammad to go to God and say, God, we can't do it.
Because yeah.
Oh,
What's
okay.
wrong with that?
And then do you know what the hadith ends with? God saying that my word does not change. So he changes it from 50 to 25 to 12.5 to 5. And then he says my word doesn't change. And Musa
was like that.
Okay, Habibi, if you read the hadith, Musa literally goes to the blessed prophet. He goes, your people cannot handle it. Go back. He goes back. And then Musa comes again. He says, your people cannot handle it. Go back. He goes back. And then Musa says again, your people cannot handle it. Go back. He goes back. And then Musa says, your people
Why are you
cannot...
making a joke? Why are you
Because
making
it
a
sounds
joke,
like a joke. It talks like a joke. It's Habibi, how is this religion? Do you really think God, the all-knowing, is God all-knowing?
Yes, 100%.
Does God know that people cannot handle 50 prayers?
But using that logic, God knows everything. Why did he create humanity knowing that we're going to sin? Like, bro, that's a stupid logic,
Because
bro.
God has already ordained for us that he's the forgiver and he's the one who accepts
Okay, okay.
repentance. If God is
So I
going
can
to...
drink alcohol and say it's Allah's fault?
My brother, God is not...
Like
Do you understand? It's not about the logic. It's about the mercy of Musa was more encompassing to us than the mercy of God in that hadith.
Yeah, because Musa knew. He said,
And God doesn't know? And God doesn't know?
Bro. Allah knows.
So why
that
would
Musa,
God... Okay, when God says, وَلَا يُكَلِّفُ نَفْسًا إِلَّا وَسْعَهَا, that God will not burden a spirit except what it is capable of handling. If God knows that no one's capable of handling 50 prayers, why would he burden Muhammad's population with that? And it's only that if Musa was not present there, then we would have 50 prayers according to
Okay,
you.
one second. Allah is the all-knowing. Why did Allah create alcohol knowing that it would make people drink alcohol so much and would get addicted to it? That's what you're basing. That's your logic.
No, my brother, I'm not talking
That's
to
your
you
logic.
about the problem of evil. God has already given us enough instructions on how to handle alcohol and the benefits that can be found in alcohol. And he has given us the sciences and for us to be able to
So when
deduce...
Allah made the 500s,
50.
How about Allah? Okay, when Allah made it 50, I mean,
Yeah.
how about Allah? He did it because he wanted to. Like, why are you thinking about how we feel? And after the Prophet Musa felt bad,
My
and was
brother,
like,
God can make it 250 if God decided to do so. But you cannot tell me that Musa understood the limits of the humans while God didn't. And God didn't only do it once, but he did it 3 times where he was overburdening the people. Okay, so now you know that the 5 prayers is from this hadith, right?
yes.
Okay, but do you know there was already a verse in the Quran presented to you before that narration where it says وَأَقِمِ الصَّلَاةَ لِدُلُوكِ الشَّمْسِ إِلَى غَسَقِ اللَّيْلِ وَقُرْآنَ الْفَجْرِ إِنَّ قُرْآنَ الْفَجْرِ كَانَ مَشْهُودًا وَمِنَ اللَّيْلِ فَتَهَجَّدْ بِهِ نَافِلَةً لَكَ عَسَى أَن يَبْعَثَكَ رَبُّكَ مَقَامًا مَحْمُودًا. So God is saying to you, and perform the prayer to the setting of the sun or the decline of the sun to the twilight of the night and the recitation of dawn, the recitation of
I
dawn.
know it.
Perfect. So why is God telling us about the prayers in the Quran if we already got it from the
Okay, so
Sunnah?
no Maghrib, no Asr.
No,
I mean, no
it's
Maghrib, no Isha.
no, my brother. It's saying Maghrib, it's saying Fajr, and it's saying Isha. It's not saying Dhuhr and Asr.
Okay, so no Dhuhr and Asr.
Yes.
So if I pray Dhuhr and Asr and you don't, am I sinning?
You're not sinning if you go above and beyond. There's nothing wrong with going above and beyond. Where are you
Okay.
sinning? This is where the sin is. You're saying that God told you to do something when he never told you to do so. That's a bid'ah.
Well, Allah is the all-knowing. Allah can know that I thought the Prophet Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam says this.
Okay, and do you know what the mustad'afin will say to the mustakbirin? They will say that
What?
you are the ones who told God, I only followed my leaders. That's what they're going to say on the day of judgment. But that excuse is not going to fly. You're going to say that to these people who told you that God said 5, and God's going to ask them, bring your evidence, and they can't because they're going to call upon partners that are not going to show up. Bukhari told me to do so. Ibn Ishaq told me to do so. Ibn Anas told me to do so.
I was hearing earlier you saying we can't mention the name Prophet Muhammad in our salah.
That's
Where
not what
do
I
you get that
said.
from?
That's not what I said. I said you cannot talk to the Prophet directly. إِنَّ الْمَسَاجِدُ لِلَّهِ فَلَا تَدْعُوا مَعَ اللَّهِ أَحَدًا. The mosques
same
are for
way.
God, so do not invoke, do not call upon anyone other than God in the
No,
mosque.
we just mentioned the names like Musa, Isa. We
No,
just
I don't.
mentioned the names.
That's fine. Salamu ala
But how are we
Musa.
worshipping Muhammad? You're saying we're worshipping
Hey,
Muhammad.
what's the difference if I say Salamu ala Musa or Salamu alayka ya Musa? What's the difference in language?
Peace be upon Musa.
And then the other one?
Say again.
Salamu alayka ya Musa.
Bro, I don't know. I don't speak Arabic, bro.
Okay, so the first one I'm saying is peace be upon Moses, which is normal. You could do that in your... And then the other one is peace be upon you, O Moses. What's happening here?
There's nothing wrong with that.
If I'm saying, oh Moses, if I say, oh Jesus, peace, is that okay?
Oh, Jesus, peace be upon you. What's wrong with that?
Can Jesus hear me?
No, but...
So why am I
okay,
talking to
I
Jesus
get you,
directly?
bro.
In my salah.
You got me, bro. No, but I'm saying, okay, when I say, oh, Isa, peace be upon you, even though he can't hear me, the intention behind that
It's not the intention.
is
It's
what's
the
important.
my brother. It's not about the intention. I don't have a problem for someone asking peace to the prophet. What I have a problem with is what God told you not to do. God told you do not invoke, do not call upon anyone else when your prayers are in the mosque. When you're saying peace be upon the prophet, this is normal. This is okay. God has permitted that. When you're going to say peace be upon you, O prophet, this is not permissible because you are calling to the prophet. You're not talking to God anymore. You're talking to the prophet. That is not okay in the prayer. Inna salati wa mamati wa mahyaya wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi ta'ala. Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya. Sorry, I'll get the verse where it says, my prayer and my sacrifices and my life and my death is for God. So why are you talking to Muhammad in your prayer? Inna salati wa nusuki wa mahyaya wa mamati lillahi ta'ala. Mamati lillahi rabbil alameen. There it is. So you came up here and you said, Wallah al-azim, you're a kafir. But my brother, what I was trying to...
I still think you are.
It's not about what you think. It's about what God judges. Do you get to judge, or does God judge? God judge. How do I know the judgment of God, or what the possible judgment of God is by His words. ومن لم يحكم بما أنزل الله فأولئك هم الفاسقون الظالمون الفاسقون الظالمون الكافرون. Whoever does not judge by what God has revealed, these are the oppressors, those are the rejectors, those are the transgressors, immoral. So
Okay, for Fajr, when you pray 2 rak'ahs, how do you pray that?
it's not 2 rak'ah. This is Sunnism. Allah didn't tell
How
you
many
2
rak'ahs do you
rak'ahs.
pray?
It's not about the rak'ah. It's about the time that you have to fulfill in the Fajr.
But do you pray, bro? Like, how many
I
rak'ahs?
pray. I pray,
Okay.
bro. Listen, if
Where'd
you're
you
gonna,
get the rak'ah from?
it's right here, bro. You see, there's a video
Okay,
that
where do you get your thoughts from, though? The Quran doesn't mention this.
The what?
The Quran doesn't say pray 2 times in Fajr, pray
That's not
4 times.
That's not what the salah is about. That's the whole argument. You're trying to practice Sunnism from the Quran. You can't. Someone told you that it's 2 rak'ahs, but it doesn't have to be 2 rak'ahs. That's the whole argument.
So one day I can wake up 2 rak'ahs, the other day 3, like however I feel.
It's not how you feel. It's about you fulfilling the time that God has told you to. It's not about how you feel. It's how much you want to dedicate and sacrifice to God. If you want to pray 5 minutes, you prayed 5 minutes, you will get the rewards of 5 minutes. You prayed for 30 minutes, you will get the rewards of 30 minutes. But the prayer is not about the adat al-rak'at. It's not 3 prayers or 4 prayers. It's one singular prayer, right?
I guess.
It's the truth. It's not what you guess.
Do you go to Hajj?
God ordered us to do so. Yes, there's instructions in the Quran about Hajj and how to perform the Hajj.
The 7 rounds?
It's not 7 rounds. What if I do 12?
The Prophet ﷺ did 7 rounds.
How do you know?
I know that's a circular argument, but okay, how do you know you should do 12?
I never said you have to do 12. I said that you have to pace around the house or pace in the house.
Okay, wait. So you can fast 20 days in Ramadan if you wanted to?
No, God is telling you to fast the month. So we know the count of the days of the month. Your argument is weak.
It says 1 month in the Quran?
Yes, it says, فَمَنْ شَهِدَ الشَّهْرَ فَلْيَصِمُهُ. Whoever witnesses the month should fast it. And whoever is sick or is traveling, then a different set of days to make up the ones that you missed. This is all in the Quran. But do you know what's not in the Quran?
What?
Stoning a devil in Hajj. That's not in the Quran. Do you really think that when you're taking the 7 pebbles and you're throwing it at other rocks, this is you stoning a devil? Now another question was,
you're smart, but like,
well, just another question: are the Zionists, are they the soldiers of Satan?
I mean, the Zionists
are they the soldiers of Satan?
I mean, I think that's a good way to say it. Yeah.
Okay, perfect. But isn't there a hadith that states that during Ramadan that Satan is tied up? All the shayateen are tied up. How come the Zionist regime continued with their crazy tactics and their lies and all this shaitan, all this Satanism that we see during Ramadan, while God is telling us that Satan has been tied up? Do you think that that's accurate?
You took it too literal, maybe.
I took it too. How are we supposed to take it then?
I mean, metaphorically.
Okay, so metaphorically, the shaitan is tied up. What does that metaphorically mean? That means he has no longer influence.
We still have free will. That's what it means.
So he still has free will, so he's not tied up.
I would say metaphorically what it could mean is the shaitan doesn't come looking for me, but I can go looking for it.
You can go look for the shaitan, but he's not coming to look for you?
Yeah, during the Ramadan. But after Ramadan, he comes looking for me.
Okay, so when God says that the shaitan is waiting for the person on the straight path and that he's going to come to you on your left, on your right, in front of you, behind you, and between your hands, is that God saying that we're looking for the shaitan, or is the shaitan coming at us? He's coming at us. When God says that those who lie and those who do not mention God, that those تَتَنَزَّلُ عَلَيْهِمُ الشَّيَاطِينَ, that they are the ones who get the devils, those who lie and they forget God. Okay? So do you think that on the people that are just lying and not looking for shaitan, God will not make a shaitan descend on him because he's locked up?
No, on Ramadan it's different.
On Ramadan, you see, this is where you guys make very little sense. So if I'm in the house and I have a dog in the house, will the angels not come?
Do you think dog is haram?
Dogs are not haram.
Wait, are pigs haram?
Pigs are haram to eat.
Yeah. But you can just pet them if you wanted to?
You can ride them into a battle if you want to.
Bro, dogs are not haram?
Dogs are not haram.
Nijas?
No, God says that you could use a dog to hunt and it will bring you the food. Do you know that? You can use a dog for them to catch the bird and you can eat the bird that it catches as long as you say the name of God on what they catch. Do you read the Quran, my brother?
Bro, in the Quran, does it not say dogs are haram?
No, it doesn't. The people in the cave had a dog with them. Are they Muslims? Yes, they are.
What cave? The cave of Hira?
Cave of Hira. No. Ashab al-Kahf wal-Raqim.
Bro, I don't know, man. I think dogs are haram, man.
According to who?
Religions.
لا تصفوا ألسنتكم هذا حلال وهذا حرام. Trying to make a lie about God. Do not explain in your tongues that this is halal and this is haram. God has never said that they're haram. I'm going to take you to a verse in chapter 5, okay? We can read it together. So you could question, you know how the Christians are always told things about Jesus that it's not true? Why? Because they were told at a young age. You're experiencing
That's
the same.
different.
You're
That's
experiencing the exact same
No,
thing.
it's different, bro.
They're
It's
telling you
different.
things that are haram when they're not haram, bro.
No, it's different.
Okay.
The difference with the Christian is because their book, they actually like.
No, my brother,
been-
they follow something that was written 400 years after the fact. They follow something called the
Yeah.
Nicene Creed. The Nicene Creed appeared
But
400
the hadith
years.
isn't written after.
The hadith was written close. Bukhari's book is 250 years after the Prophet. 250 years of people putting their noses, their hands, and their sweat, and their lies, and their manipulation. According to these sources, Bukhari memorized between 300 to 600,000 hadith, and he only left 7,000. And without the repetition, about 2,000. 99% of it he chose to omit because it was not considered authentic to him. So, but one minute, my good brother. So it says here, يسألونك ماذا أحل لهم قل أحل لكم الطيبات وما علمتم من الجوارح مكلبين تعلمونهن مما علمكم الله فكلوا مما أمسكنا عليكم واذكروا اسم الله عليه واتقوا الله إن الله سريع الحساب. They ask you what is lawful for them. Say, lawful for you are good things that you have and what you have taught of predatory dogs. You teach them from what God has taught you. So eat from what they catch for you and mention the name of God upon it and beware of God. Indeed, God is swift in reckoning. So I can have dogs, I can have falcons, I can have eagles, and I can have predatory beings that can capture meat for me, including dogs.
But didn't the Prophet love cats and hate dogs?
No. You wouldn't know that.
Okay, how would you know about the Prophet's like how his whole like his biography? How would you know about it without the hadith?
No, the biography is something that's historical. The same way I can understand the biography of Moses, the same way I can understand the biography of David or
There's
Jesus.
no evidence Moses ever existed.
This is historical documentation. This is
Wait,
not
there's
religion.
no evidence Moses existed, bro.
There's no evidence that Moses existed.
Without like religious, there's no evidence.
There's no
historically.
evidence of Moses.
Historically.
Okay,
Historically.
1 second. So here we go. So there is evidence that the oldest written reference to Moses is actually not the Torah, but rather it was an Egyptian inscription in the desert talking about Moshe. And then there you have the stele of one of the actual guy that drowned, the Pharaoh that drowned. There was also from his hieroglyphics where he's saying that the seed of Israel was laid to so here it is, Misha Steel. There's the Misha Steel talking about Moses and the children of Israel, and then you also have another one where it's talking about the seed of Israel has been laid to waste. So yes, there is some historical evidence But
Okay.
regardless, in regards to the seerah of the Nabi, it's not religious, it's not important for religion, but if you want to try to discover what the messenger lived or how he lived, this is just extra material that is not necessary for Islam.
So what do you believe about the Prophet Isra al-Mi'raj?
We talked about the Ma'raj earlier, didn't
Like
we?
the Quran doesn't like
It talks
mention
about
it
the
so much.
yeah, it talks about the Isra. سبحان الذي
It
أسرى
does talk about
بعبده
it, but like
من
not
المسجد
that much.
الأقصى إلى من المسجد الحرام إلى المسجد الأقصى يريه من آياتنا.
Okay, is Sunni Islam false?
Sunni Islam is following a doctrine that God did not give them.
So they're going to hell?
I didn't say that.
Okay, bro. Nice to meet you, bro. Have a good
Nice
day,
to meet
man.
you. Take care. Tawfiq. Oh,
Assalamu alaikum.
walaikum salam. I'm going by the order. So, Saif. What's up, man?
I didn't exactly want to debate you. I just want to hear some opinions. I want to learn more about Quranists. So can I just? There's one thing I've been wondering about. What's your opinion on the Jum'ah prayer?
The Jum'ah prayer in the Quran is not called Jum'ah in regards to the day of the week, but Jum'ah is a congregation. So there is times when people used to congregate. In that, if a prayer of a call of prayer was happening, you have to do so. I do believe that one day of the week should be dedicated to God, where people should come and reflect and listen to the word of God, and that is one of the types of the prayers that we have to go with. But do you know how the Jum'ah prayer was according to the Hadith?
What do you mean?
According to the Hadith, Umar used to stand on the pulpit in Jum'ah prayer and just read chapter 16. He didn't give a khutbah. He would just read a chapter from the Quran.
I'll have to look into it.
Mm-hmm.
Can I also ask, what's your opinion about Dajjal?
Dajjal, if by the linguistic meaning of someone who deceives by deceiving the perception of what is being said, then that can be applied to Iblis. Okay, I don't think the concept of a Dajjal coming and Isa is going to have a fight with him in the middle of the sky and then everybody's going to become Muslim. I think this is not real. I don't think this is true. There's no evidence of it in the Quran. Iblis is a Dajjal. Iblis is a person who's deceiving you, and Iblis has a promise that he's going to be around till the day of judgment. So no one's going to kill the concept of Dajjal.
Okay.
Hmm.
And also, why do you think? It's a bold assumption, but maybe 99% of Muslims are Sunnis and they follow the Hadith. Why do you think it's such a big majority compared to just following the
Because
Quran?
God states in the Quran, وَمَا يُؤْمِنُ أَكْثَرَهُمْ بِاللَّهِ إِلَّا وَهُمْ مُشْرِكُونَ. The majority of them will not believe in God unless they associate to God. We see the same happening with the Jews, and we see the same happening with the Christians. 99% of Christians are Trinitarians. Let's say close to 95% are Trinitarians. Okay, so this is obviously a very wrong majority. The majority does not necessitate the truth, which I know you already know this, but the majority of the people that are considered Muslim nowadays, they were born into this label, and they're not people who ponder, nor have they read the Quran, nor have they reflected on the book, nor have they made their own decisions. They were just simply accepting what's being told to them. Did 99% of Muslims ever wonder where God has ordered them to accept Bukhari's book or Al-Kafi's book? No, they just accepted it.
Yeah, that's true.
Yes. So when you start to reflect and when you start to open your eyes, it's very hard to close them after that.
Were you a Sunni at one point, or?
Born Sunni.
Okay, brother, I think you've answered all my questions. Thank you very much.
Not a problem. Appreciate you.
Assalamu alaikum.
No, there's no Imam Mahdi to come. Ibrahim Nawaz. What you can expect is God sending another messenger, not somebody who's going to come with a book. Muhammad was the seal of the prophets, but God never sealed messengers. And God has consistently said that before he destroys a nation, he will send a messenger in the tongue of the people, warning them of the destruction, and then the destruction is going to occur after they reject the messenger. There's angels that are still working. That's why God never says obey God and obey the prophet, because it would not make sense. When God is giving you the book, which is an example to all things, if he's saying to you obey God and obey the messenger, there has been many messengers that have been sent. It's not in a sense where they're going to be prophets and come with miracles and come with big signs and establish a new religion. The only thing that they would do is remind of the book, they would give the clarity, and then they move on. As the messenger's only duty is the clear notification that he is a warner and a herald of good news, that he has no control over the people, that he is reminding with the word of God. He is going to address the elites, and he's going to tell the elites that you are associating to God and you're spreading corruption in the land, and then they will reject him or try to kill him. God will rescue that messenger and the believers, and then he's going to replace those nations, those elites, with people who are better than them. That's why we see consistently in the history after the blessed Prophet Muhammad's passing, many great nations have also fell. It's not just Pharaoh, it's not just Thamud, Lut, and Nuh before Muhammad. We've seen the fall of the Romans, seen the fall of the Persians, we've seen the fall of the Umayyads, we have seen the fall of the Turkish Ottomans, we have seen the fall of the British Empire. All of these, and now we're seeing the fall of the Americans. But before God removes a superpower, he warns them and he tells them and he makes sure that they knew that they were doing wrong, so that they have no excuses on the day of judgment. Let's see.
Salam, brother.
Walaikum salam, bro. What's up? I do want to keep it a debate stream, so but you're my bro. So what's up?
Yeah, it's more of a specific question about, okay, so I had this like hypothetical scenario in my head, which I was thinking maybe it could have applied at the Prophet's time, right? So what the hypothetical scenario was is that, okay, let's say that lizards today are extremely poisonous and now we can't keep them as a pet.
Mhm.
And so then the leader of the country says, guys, do not keep lizards because they're extremely poisonous. I feel like what could have happened is that, do you think that maybe the Salaf had like cognitive dissonance where the Prophet may have said something which is
I can
not
understand that.
from
Yes, but it
not
does.
yeah
But they, when there's going to be a reward from God by killing them by the amounts of rocks, I don't think that this is what God is
yeah
telling us to do. I do
I
agree
agree
that there are some predatory animals that we need to take some precautions, but I believe that the last resort that we should be utilizing is killing them. Okay, so I know mosquitoes, for
yeah
example, can be a problem because of disease, but I personally don't try to swat a mosquito and kill it right away. I'll try to put it in a box and send it in its way outside of my house. And or if it's a really big problem and there's an air conditioning, I'll freeze them so that they would go hibernate and they won't bother me. How? By putting the air conditioning at a level where they go to sleep. And then you can go find them and literally take them out. But if I'm just going to swat at it and kill it right away, I don't think that that's how it's supposed to be approached. Because you could see the example
yeah
where the
yeah
ant was running. The ant was literally running away from Solomon in the Quran, so that Solomon doesn't crush it unknowingly. So imagine if Solomon is crushing ants knowingly just because he doesn't want them in his house. Doesn't make sense.
yeah 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 I think like, do you think like maybe they could have been like, let's say that, okay, so something like in today's time, um like let's say like not lizard, maybe a crow or something would be
Sure.
like, yeah,
And they took it overboard after his departure. I
yeah,
can I can
like as
understand.
in like, yeah, like this cognitive dissonance of like, oh, the messenger said it, so
Right.
let's continue. Do
So
you think that could have happened, or
yes. So there is this is something that you could see in the Hadith literature where it writes. Sorry, it writes itself as more so like it's not something that's it's not something where something is actually occurring, but rather it's like a story that you tell children. You know what I mean?
yeah, Like
Yeah.
like I can
Someone's reminiscing at the time that they've been killing the lizards, and because the messenger said to kill the
by the
lizards
way,
in
I
that
don't
time,
believe that one. By the way.
obviously, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Like that's what I'm thinking, that like the thing, like let's say that, okay, hypothetically the prophet said to unalive lizards because they're extremely poisonous, which by the way I don't believe. But then let's say that happened, and then the Salaf were like, they were cognitively dissonant. They take that on board and they still keep it, but then their issue is that they add other things like, oh, Allah revealed another wahi that says you get more rewards and this and that.
Yeah. That's what
So
they do. That's
yeah,
exactly how
I
it's.
think this.
But I don't know, but yes,
Yeah.
they will take something and then they will keep adding to themselves. That's the problem. The human beings.
Do you think that's what happened?
I don't.
Generally, like,
I don't know if that's what happened, but that's what people do. I don't know specifically about that. I don't know. But at the same time, there's a lot of things that seeped in from other religions. So the concept of hating crows and hating dogs, this was already in the Zoroastrian religion. And so that's
Yeah.
why like the hate of snakes, dogs, and crows is prominent in Hadith scriptures, because it was there in the Zoroastrians. And we see a lot of influence of Zoroastrian narrations in the Hadith. See what I'm saying?
Mhm.
So we have this concept, which is let me find it. This is okay. This concept is used in something. Wait, trial of three. Yeah. Where is it? Let me get something here. Rule of three, I think. It's supposed to be called the rule of three in writing. Yeah, rule of three in writing. So guys, listen to this, okay? The rule of three is a writing principle which suggests that a trio of entities, such as examples, events, or characters, is more satisfying, effective, or humorous than other numbers, and it's also more memorable. Okay, so let me put this on the screen for people to read it with me. So remember, guys, the rules of three. Okay, it's better for memory, for humor. Okay, and I'll show you what it means. So 1 minute. In comedy, the rule of three is also called a comedic triple, right? So it's in comedy, it's in storytelling and folklore. I'll give you an example, okay? Somebody came to the messenger and he said, who should I love more, my mom or my dad? And the prophet said, your mom, okay? And the man said, and then my dad? And he said, your mom. And then he said, then my dad? And he said, your mom. And then he said, your dad. See what I mean? You'll see a lot of hadith. It's the first time he failed, the second time he failed, the third time he failed, and then the story comes up. You see much of the hadith actually employing this.
Yeah.
Someone came to
I think it's in the another one of the shaitan giving Ayatul Kursi. The Prophet says, God, don't listen to him. That's a thief. And then he comes, Abu Hurairah comes again, and the Prophet says, don't go. That's a thief. Like it happens in that.
In many times, it's like the guy, hadith, honey, stomach. So some guy says, oh, here it is. So remember, guys, the rule of three, it's used in folklore. A man came to the Prophet and said, my brother has some abdominal trouble. The Prophet said to him, let him drink honey. The man came for the second time, and the Prophet said to him, let him drink honey. He came for the third time. The Prophet said, let him drink honey. And then he returned again and said, I have done that. The Prophet then said, Allah has said the truth, and your brother's abdomen has told a lie. Let him drink honey again. So he made him drink honey, and it was cured. See, not the first time, not the second time, not the third time, and then it works. And you see this consistently in hadith, which is employing a way that works with what? Folklore and storytelling.
Then that means they added comedy during the first part of the Prophet's prophethood, when the angel said read, the Prophet says I can't read.
Read. No,
And
read
then
again.
read. Yeah.
No, and then he said read again. And then he said read in the name of God that created. Bro,
That's so offensive. Like,
exactly
the beginning of the Prophet's prophethood.
Yeah, so somebody says, he goes, Hadith, someone came to the Prophet, he said, I committed zina. He ignored him. He came again, he said, I committed zina. He ignored him again. He said, he came third time, he ignored him again. And the fourth time, he said, I made zina. And then the Prophet ordered him to get stoned.
That doesn't happen in real life. Like, that doesn't happen.
Imagine somebody coming to a Prophet and telling him, I confess to my sin. I want to take the punishment. And the Prophet ignores him. Like, no, I'm not going to punish you.
It's like, you know how people like cartoons and they start acting like the cartoon. They're making the Prophet like the
rules of three, bro. Remember that. The Hadith, when you start reading it, you'll see this consistently. Them using the rules of three, which is, as I said, a tool for folklore. So yeah, so the concept of the lizard, 1 stone, 2 stone, 3 stone. You know what I mean? So
or like cleaning with the stone.
It's always the same style.
Toilet. Yeah.
All right, my brother.
Thank you, brother.
May God bless you. Peace. Mufti Zardis. This has to be
Hello.
Hello.
I'm Leon. I'm from Germany. My English is not the best one. I'm Sunni on the Hanafi madhab.
Hanafi.
And yes, and I heard something about the Hadith, and I will give you just because I don't have so much time. One question. If you see like a Jew or a Christian or one of the Al-Kitabs in front of you, and he want to ask you, how can I prove that Muhammad, peace be upon him, is the right messenger?
By showing him that the Quran is the word of God.
Yes, but he don't follows the Quran. And
you asked me to prove to the man in front of me, to anybody, that Muhammad is a messenger. The only way that I could do that is by allowing the person to qualify the Quran for it to be from God. If he does accept that the Quran is from God, then he has accepted Muhammad as a messenger. If he denies the Quran is from God, it's not that he denied Muhammad, it's that he denied God. So why would I try to convince him that Muhammad is a prophet when that man's heart did not allow him to accept the word of God? You see the paradox here? Now, furthermore, a Christian and a Jew, if they are a person that is believing in God in the last day and they're doing good, there's a good chance that they're going to heaven. So I don't need to sit there and force him to change his religion.
Okay, the next question is, when you cannot, because it's an argument with the Quran, you give him not an answer without the Quran. You can give him not an answer. Does he live, for example? You cannot prove this.
Oh,
you cannot prove.
My brother, when I say that the Quran is alone, is sufficient, I'm not saying that the Quran is the only source of information. The Quran is the only source of religious authority for me. So when it comes down to my religion, the Quran is the only book that I need. When it comes down to history, when it comes down to geography, to calendars, to science, to history, there's all sorts of other material. But when I want to know what God said, I go only to the Quran. That's what it means. So if I want to prove that Muhammad existed in history, I can show them historically. I can show them with manuscripts. I can show them in many other things. But that does not mean that now I'm accepting hadith as religious authority.
I give you the point with the, but when you say you give him not the source of the Quran, you give him not the source of the Quran because he's not follow the Quran. And the problem is, he said, I have the Injil. Why I have to accept Muhammad, peace be upon him?
He doesn't.
Without, how like in English, that point. You have not a backstory. You have not a backstory about him. How you can
Right.
testify him as a messenger.
I understand. My brother, the reason why I believe that the Quran is from God is not because of the story of Prophet Muhammad. This is my understanding. The reason that I know that the Quran is from God, because the language that is being employed in the Quran and what the Quran is talking about from the content, it is so accurate to the truth that I can measure it in the world that's in front of me. So I don't really, to be honest, the person that gave me the Quran, okay, he's not the person that I'm putting the emphasis on. What I'm putting the emphasis on is the word itself. So if I'm going to go to a Jew and a Christian, my point is not to prove that Muhammad is a messenger and therefore accept the Quran. My point is to prove that the morality and the context that's in the Quran is from God. So it's not about the author or who brought it, it's about what it's saying. That's how I will use it to a Christian and a Jew. If they're asking me about who brought this book, if they say this book is nice, I can see some truth in it. It is the truth from my Lord. I was a Muslim before it. Who gave you this book? Then I can start talking about the messenger and the messenger's life. But that's not how I should start the conversation.
But when you give this argumentation, for example, in the lifetime from the Muhammad, peace be upon him, alayhi salatu wassalam, when you give him this point, you have not to testify that he is a messenger, because you
He was
cannot
alive.
clearly. Yes, but I can also say this is my word of God, but I cannot prove it with miracles or another things.
But
You have not the source.
But my
Yes.
brother, the Prophet Muhammad did not prove that he's a messenger with miracles. That's something that's very evident. In
Example, the Quran, for example, or the I don't know how the Hadith in English it says, but the chains.
It's not.
Without the chains, we have not. Yes, we don't have the point how we can testify he's a messenger.
My brother,
Because that's
we can testify he's a messenger just strictly from the Quranic narrative. That's what you're failing to understand. I don't believe that the Quran is from God because men told me that the Quran is from God. I don't need an isnad to know that it's from God, because I am measuring what the words are saying. The words are very clearly from God. It's what is being told to me is from God. So this is why there's a verse in the Quran that says, وَإِذَا يُتْلَى عَلَيْهِمْ قَالُوا آمَنَّا بِهِ إِنَّهُ الْحَقُّ مِنْ رَبِّنَا إِنَّ كُنَّا مِنْ قَبْلِهِ مُسْلِمِينَ. And when the Quran is being recited to them, the Jews and the Christians, the people of the book, say, we believe in it. Indeed, it is the truth from our Lord. Indeed, we were Muslims, submitters before the Quran. So a person who is inclined to God and he was thinking about consistently and his heart is to God and he's a person that tried to be good in the world, the Quran will resonate with him by what the Quran is saying. These people are deaf, dumb, and blind. They're not going to like you. These people have chosen the worldly life and they don't care about the hereafter. There is a better world than what you're going through now. Right now, you should persevere. You should employ patience. You should practice giving money away. You should practice prayer. This is going to make you better. When you're angry, let go of your anger quickly. If someone transgress against you, forgive him. But if they transgress against you, but you have the right to also...
I understand.
So that to me is enough as a moral lesson that I don't need to qualify it by Muhammad.
Okay, I have my ijaza in Sanat
Hadith.
Fard and Anis.
Bal. No, you said Hanafi. So you're
Hanafi, no, I know. I mean, I have make ijaza also in Tawal ijaza in يعني I can tajweed and
okay, ijaza and tajweed and
the
tilawa.
Senate I have in half a Senate, and it is my question. The Senate is from the Prophet, peace be upon him, and I'm one of the chain from this Senate.
That's not true, because let's say that you have ijaza and hafs, right?
Yes,
okay,
Asim.
Perfect. Hafs and Asim. So we have Hafs reading that he learned from Asim. Okay, So
Yes.
watch. I'll show you how there is a logical problem of what you're saying. One second. So we have Asim, who taught Shu'bah, and he taught Hafs, right?
My sheikh is a Munich Yusha Haja.
Okay.
And
We have Asim,
yeah.
who taught Hafs, and you're reading the reading of Hafs, right?
Yes.
Between
yes.
between Shu'bah and Hafs, you know, there's 500 differences, right?
But the ahrufs are not many problems.
I'm not talking about the ahruf. I'm talking about the reading. The reading between Shu'bah and Hafs, there's differences
It's
of
not a problem. I
of
know
500.
it.
So, but did Asim, did he read it Hafs style or Shu'bah style?
That's not the point because we have the seven
Wait,
ahrufs.
1 minute. So now we're calling it Hafs and Asim, and this is Shu'bah and Asim. When Asim was not alive, what was Hafs reading before that? So for example, chapter 17 of the Quran was called Surah Al-Isra or Surah Bani Israel, and this is historically recorded from the time of the blessed prophet. Okay, they had the names of the surahs. Now, this reading of Hafs, what was the name of it before Hafs? It's attributed to Hafs. It wasn't attributed to before Hafs. You get what I mean?
But
So this concept of reading existed only when Hafs came around.
I understand your point, but you have many countries, many continents, and other continents in the time before Asim. You have the seven ahrufs, but the problem was not the seven ahrufs. So it was a problem. How can I make the chain live in this lifetime? That was the problem.
Perfect. So Asim learned from somebody, right?
Yes, from his scholar.
Right, and his scholar also learned from the Prophet, then, correct?
Also, till to the Prophet.
Right, but then the second person in the chain would have to influence all the ones at the bottom. But we see Hafs not influencing the person at the end of the chain, or not the end of the chain, on the other side of the chain, even though there's a common link. So what I was trying to express to you, for this to be true, Asim would have had to know Shu'bah's reading and Hafs's reading. And Hafs and Shu'bah would be able to interchange between each other. But we don't see that.
I can give you an example. I have this point of a good brother for me. We have seen, I don't know, like it was the story because from Musa alayhi salam with Fir'aun. And in one Shuba, for example, I cannot say in German, but in English is for me really, really difficult to say. It was four ahrufs. In two was Shuba, and in two was house. The problem was not that there are, how can I say it in English? They have was not. It's really difficult to say in English. Wait. In German.
And brother, when you're saying ahruf, are you saying the word had 4 letters, or are you talking about ahruf from the hadith of 7 ahrufs?
Now I mean the ahrufs from the Quran.
Okay. So the ahrufs, so the word had 4 letters, or so you're talking about the hadith, the 7 ahruf hadith, and Shu'bah had 2 ahrufs while Hafs and Shu'bah and Hafs had 4, is what you're saying?
Yes, but
this is wrong.
They have wait. Against
guys.
Supplemented. They have supplemented with one ayah. For example, the people of Fir'aun want to kill him and to follow him. In the other ahruf, they said not because of him, but they said against him. But that's not a problem in the theology, but it's just a harakat or a more or yes,
but
just a harakat more.
Do you know
but
that this is not what the ahruf is? This is later.
yeah,
This is what later they started to talk about in regards to what the 7 ahrufs are. This is something that the Sunnis started to use much later than what it was already explained. Do you know what Tabari said about the 7 ahruf?
yeah,
How many ahrufs do we have today? Let me put it this way.
7.
1.
No, 7. But
According
just
to Tafsir al-Tabari, in his introduction, when he's talking about the narration about the 7 ahruf, he's saying that this is before Uthman, he burnt 6 ahruf and left 1 harf. So in the very beginning, they're saying that the Prophet permitted for people to interchange words with their synonyms if a person is not capable of remembering it or the person is not capable of saying it. So for example, shajaratul zaqum ta'amul athim. That's what it says in the normal Quran. But some person from Quraysh was not capable of remembering athim when one of the companions was trying to teach him the Quran. So the companion got upset and he said, shajaratul zaqum ta'amul fajir.
yeah.
Okay?
Yeah, but it's not.
So the word completely changed, and that's what it means to have a different harf. That means, according to the Tabari, that words can be interchanged to make it easier for other people. So I can say, for example, instead of أولئك هم الظالمون, I can say أولئك هم الكافرون, and it would still make sense because the dhikr hasn't changed. Okay? Or halumma ilayya or ta'alu ilayya. I can change the word for coming or like come to me. Okay? So, or going, I can change the words there. But what did Uthman say? No, we're done with this practice and it's only going to be one way. That's what it means to have the different ahrufs. And at the end, we are left with 1 harf. And that's what Tabari says. But the Sunnis want to hide this.
No, because Imam al-Ghazali radiallahu anhu had also said that the 7 ahrus is a chain. This chain you cannot break just with one imam.
My brother, it cannot be a chain, because if it's a chain, then the names would have been established earlier. So you know how we call it Hafs an Asim, Shu'ba an Asim, Warsh? So when Warsh, Asim, and Shu'ba was not alive, what were these readings called? They did not have a name, because these readings got canonicalized much later. Because people were going from Shu'ba to Hafs, however, they would read a little bit like Warsh and then a little bit like Shu'ba and a little bit of Hafs, and they keep changing back and forth until the person in the leading at the time said that this is not going to be acceptable and we need to standardize the readings, just like how they standardize the
For example, many of the great reciters, for example, Alif Lam Re, they say Re. This is, for example, Shu'ba.
This is like water and water, brother. This is just like water and water. That's different.
And
but that's the same harf.
But these big theology points, they are not eliminate the other. They are supplemented.
My brother, this is all 1 harf, is what Tabari is saying. I'm not saying.
For example, the river in Jannah. Another said the river is full with water.
Yes, but this
but
is
they
all
are not theologically
different. Because you know why? What did God say? He didn't say I'm preserving the Quran. He says I'm preserving the dhikr. So if I say ta'amul fajir or ta'amul athim, I can make the argument that the remembrance is the same, okay? But I want to follow what is the closest to the truth. And God has said that He is going to preserve the remembrance. So if in this modern day that Hafs is the closest to the remembrance of what God wants us to remember, that is the one that's going to become what? Prominent. Because God has chosen it to be so. See, this is God's intervention. It's not something that we can handle. What you're telling me is back in the day when the Rasim did not have diacritics and it did not have the majority of the dots, people would read it a little differently. عند الله عبد الله, okay? الملائكة الذين هم عباد الله عند الله. Yeah, so that reading is because of a single dot. But at the end of the day, it still has the same similar meaning, bro. So what you're describing to me is not a problem to me. because at the end of the day, I'm understanding the message from God and I'm applying the message of God. I'm not concerned about the history. If someone asks me, how did the Quran reach to you? Amazon delivery driver.
But look,
That's how it reached me. How did it reach to the Amazon delivery driver and before and all that? It is not concerning to me. What's concerning to me is what God's going to ask me on the day of judgment. He's not going to tell me which tree did the paper of this mushaf come to you from.
look, they have. We go with the Shuba and Haf. The problem is not there. I know what you mean because they said, yeah, and the scholar of him and the scholar of him. But the problem is not the scholar of him. The problem is when I have a massive population and I don't know how I like to recite, for example, in China or example in Germany. They have the Asim to make these 7 akhrus to makes clarify and in a unit, one unit, and not, for example, that one says amanu or kafirun, for example.
That's different. But I was trying to express to you from what I understood they're talking about in regards to what I was trying to express to you in regards to but anyways, brother, I think I want to move on to the next person because I do have 15 more minutes and I would like to talk to somebody else. I think your question was, how can I prove that the Muhammad was a messenger to a non-believer? I believe that the context of the Quran is sufficient, my brother.
Yes, I understand your point, but for a Christian or a Jew, that's not enough to testify a prophet. Because, for example, as a Sunni, I can testify him the miracles.
How? Which
not
miracle?
just
Which miracle?
For example, he split the moon. For example,
you can't justify that as truth.
With just this miracle,
my brother. There's no evidence of him splitting the moon.
Just Indies have are now Muslims because of this miracle.
My brother,
Indies.
This was not viewed across the world. If Muhammad indeed did split the moon, it would have been viewed all over the world. There was nobody who witnessed the moon being split, and that would have been recorded. So the story of Nuh, for example, it is in many people's history. You see what I'm saying? There's many civilizations in the world that talked about the flooding of Noah. But there is no historical record of people across the world saying that today we saw the moon split in half and come back together.
But these people that said this miracle, that's exactly the same guys, exactly the same, they revealed us the Quran today. You know what I mean? For example, Uthman radiallahu anhu.
So when it was nighttime in Mecca, it wouldn't have been a nighttime in the whole region there. It wouldn't have been nighttime in Egypt. It wouldn't have been a nighttime in Bahrain and Abu Dhabi, whatever it was back then. Nobody witnessed the moon being split except Muhammad and that specific small group of people.
The group in front of the moon have said this. Seen this.
So the people that were in Rome and Persia did not witness the moon being split?
We don't have from all over the world. But what we can say, for example, this hadith.
My brother, if the moon splits tonight, how many people would see it?
Maybe the whole world.
Okay, perfect. That's the whole
but
argument.
We went.
So
yeah.
so my brother, God says consistently in the Quran, لولا أنزل عليه آية من ربه. Why has there no miracle has come to him from his Lord? And God says, isn't it not sufficient that we have brought down the book being recited to them? Muhammad in the Quran, it's shown that he did not receive outside miracles and miracles like Moses. What he received was the Quran, which was the miracle of Muhammad. Because we could see how the book today has absolutely nothing compared to it. And that the book itself is the miracle. So to say that Muhammad split the moon and that's why people believed he's a messenger, there is no evidence of that, man. This is just people telling them stories. Why? Because they didn't understand what it means. اقتربت الساعة وانشق القمر وإن يروا آية. And if they see a sign. So God is here saying that the hour has approached and the moon has split. So we know that when the day of judgment is about to begin, the moon will split. It's not something that happened in the past. It's something that will happen.
for example, 1,000 years, you would not take the argument from a Jew or Christian when he said the moon is splitting. You
My brother,
just
if I
put
see Jews and Christians in the Middle East consistently all made a report that the moon was split, then I would believe you. But there
after
is
1,000 years.
What do you mean after 1,000 years, bro? Why would the people lie in the back? Imagine somebody who has never met Prophet Muhammad, has no idea what's going on in the Middle East, but he's sitting in Palestine. He's looking up at the stars and he see the moon split. You don't think he's going to go run to his whole people and it's going to be documented in Palestine, in Turkey, in Syria, in Jordan, in Egypt, in modern day Somalia, in Sudan, in modern day Yemen?
Yes,
But
also
it's
when
not.
you have it, you would not prove this. You would not take this argument.
My
Because
brother,
it's a Jew, for example.
no, you didn't. I didn't. You said to me that you can prove that Muhammad's a messenger by saying that he has miracles. I asked you what's a miracle that he brought. You said he split the moon. I said that that's not a miracle
Okay,
that,
for
that is
example,
true.
the fingers, that he split water with his fingers.
He split water with his fingers.
Or I don't know how like it's say in English, that flew water from his fingers. That he can't make that he can make wudu.
And he has, so the Jew and the Christian is going to believe you now, because you just said the
No, but
hadith said
that's
so.
that when
I think my style would make more sense if I say that look at this book and look at the contents of the book. It's teaching you about God and it's teaching you
but
how to be
this,
an upright
yes,
human being. Do you believe that? If they go explore it and say yes, I do believe that this book is from God, then they've automatically accepted Muhammad as a messenger.
and these exact same people have bring us today the Quran. Without these guys, we don't have today the Quran.
What's that?
For example, the Birmingham manuscript, that's from the lifetime of Uthman radiallahu anhu. Without this manuscript, you cannot prove, for example, like a Jew or like a Christian, that we have a manuscript today. These guys that tells us this
My brother, it's not my
this
job.
hadith,
My job is not to convince the Jew and the Christian that they should accept the word of God. You're making it your job that you have to make them convinced that Muhammad's a messenger. That has never been your job, bro. Calling,
yes,
are you calling,
exactly,
perfect, are you calling to Muhammad or are you calling to God?
to God, but
Perfect.
my
So them having an argument about who Muhammad is not the point. The point is to take him to the book of Muhammad. What's the book of Muhammad?
but Allah also said we have to make dawah, and that's also a art of dawah.
As I said to you, my brother, very simply, okay? What is the book of Muhammad?
Peace be upon him, is the Quran.
Okay, so if I'm
And
taking him to the book of Muhammad and they accept the book of Muhammad, they've accepted Muhammad.
but yes, I understand you, but
خلاص.
Muhammad, peace be upon him, does not give us the Quran today. You know what I mean?
I
The
don't know, bro.
Quran
This
is
is
not
going.
from Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam that you have in the hand. The Mus'haf is not from him. It's
right
from the chain,
from the
the
chain
chain
of the
from the
people.
hadith.
Right. Okay. The chain of the hadith is what makes the Quran. The chain of the hadith is what makes the Quran preserved, right?
Uthman radiallahu anhu, Abu Bakr as-Siddiq, these guys have give us the words from Allah.
So when God
Till
says
today,
that He preserved it, Uthman and Abu Bakr are the ones who preserved it, or was it God and His Messenger who preserved it?
he said radiallahu anhum to his friends and his
That's folklore. The truth is, God says that He's the one who's preserving it, and that He shows us that it was written during the time of the blessed Prophet. Even your hadith books, it says that the Quran was compiled by 4 people when the Prophet was alive. So the Quran was written down when the Messenger was alive. It wasn't Uthman and Abu
with
Bakr.
bones, yes, with
Not on bones.
trees.
No. It was collected by 4 people. It wasn't on bones and trees and the goat eating the Quran. That's folklore. That's what they told their children. People that didn't know the actual history. But when you look at your actual narrations, it states very clearly that the Quran was written by 4 people, collected by 4 people already when the messenger was alive. And all 4 of them were from the Ansar. But the goat eating the hadith is not going to work that way, and that the Quran is missing verses from whatever's been revealed, like the suckling of 10 sucklings or the stoning of an adulterer. This is what brings the Quran down. But okay, bro, I really do gotta go because I have 7 more minutes before I have to
Okay, ciao, ciao.
take care.
Assalamu alaikum, bro.
Walaikum salam.
So I have 7 minutes left.
7 minutes.
7 minutes. I'm just wondering if there is some hadith for you that it's also valid.
There's nothing that I would require from the hadith books for me to understand the religion.
Okay, because you know the perspective from the Sunni is that the Quran is the theory and the hadith are the praxis.
Then they have to show that in the Quran. God says that the Quran is fully detailed, the Quran is complete, the Quran is perfect, that He's not left anything out of the book, that the book is going to guide you to what is upright, that it is detailed in knowledge. So if they're going to say that that's not true, then they're the ones who are denying.
Of course, bro, of course, 100%. Everything you said is 100% truly, but there is no hadith that says something else. You know, there's no, even there's a hadith that says if there would be an hadith that contradicts the Quran, then eliminate it.
No, it says whoever.
And also the 4 scholars, Hanbali, Hanafi, Maliki, Shafi, they all said that if
Can you wear gold?
if there is, just to finish this point,
Sorry.
if there is some hadith that contradict the Quran, if there is some hadith contradicts me, then forget my what I said.
Yes, that's Abu Hanifa said that.
Okay.
Right. So what is gold? Wearing gold, is that haram for men?
If you consult some hadith, of course, and there's also
Is that in the Quran?
a scientifically explanation for it.
My brother, I'm not asking about scientifically explanation if you're going to tell me something is haram or halal, okay? So there's certain things. There are certain things that you do. Do you drink coffee?
Yes.
Scientifically, the coffee is something that can be negative to you as well.
Yes, but
can I say now that coffee is haram?
Yeah, but I don't think that
Right. So
you take the right. You know, your example is not. You can put your example one to one.
I can't, my brother. When God is saying,
yeah, you did.
I'll show you what. I'll show you what I mean.
Sorry.
Bro. What you're saying to me is that the gold is haram because there's science proving that there is going to gold makes men gay or something.
No,
whatever.
No, to enforce the hadith, bro. You know the hadith better. You know the hadith better than me, bro.
Okay.
I'm just saying you are 100% right, and it's written in the Quran. Only the Quran is 100% protected by God.
Right.
Okay. Because it's the last message.
My brother.
I don't say, bro. There are so many hadith. I don't put my hands in fire for all the hadith, but you know, there are lot of hadith that makes very sense if you get into it.
The reason
that's all I'm saying.
Bro, what I was trying to express to you is something that's very simple. You said to me that if the hadith contradicts the Quran, it is rejected. The reason why I chose the one about something that is forbidden, it is because something that does contradict the Quran, but it's not rejected. So it's very easy to make theories, like the Christians saying we believe in one God. But then when we start to scrutinize their works, that whatever they're saying is not actually what's happening. So when
I get your point, bro.
So
how the hadith is contradicting about the God, the Quran.
So God says here very easily in the Quran, come, قُلْ تَعَالُوا أَتْلُوا عَلَيْكُمْ مَا حَرَّمَ اللَّهُ لَكُمْ. Let me find where this is being shown. Just give me 1 second. So I think settings, we go here. That states right here. Come, let me tell you what is been haram for you, okay? I will recite to you what Lord has sanctioned to you, that do not associate with him, be good to your parents, do not kill your children out of poverty. He's giving us everything that has been haram here, okay?
Yeah, 14 points. There are 14 points.
Perfect.
14 haram points.
Awesome. Correct? And then God is also telling us not to say that this is halal and haram, saying lies about God. And then if I go to chapter 7, okay? chapter 7, it says haram. Yeah. So I have to ask you, who has forbidden the zina, the adornments of God, which he has produced for his servants, as well as the good things of sustenance?
All right, I get your implication. Your implication is that all things that are haram
1 minute, bro.
are mentioned in the Quran.
Let me finish. So people wear gold as adornment. And God is saying here, who has forbidden the adornments of God? And God says they are exclusively for those who believe during the worldly life to the day of resurrection. And thus we have explained the verses for people who know. So when God says that it's halal for me to decorate with the adornments that God has sent, which one of them is gold, you're telling me that that's haram. God is saying who has forbidden it? You're saying Muhammad did.
The adornments, bro. Okay.
What's the adornments?
Then, yeah, let's look at the Arabic word in the...
Zina is adornments. Chains, necklaces, pendants, rings, silk. Okay, so there's a clothes is zina, but dahab is a form of zina, bro.
Okay, can I write down the ayah? Which one it was?
732.
Yes. 733.
732.
Okay, I will look it up. Thank you, bro. And can I ask you another thing? Because I have to put you in some direction. So as I put me in that I'm a Sunni, I put you as a Quranite, if it's okay.
I'm just a believer, bro.
Okay. About that, what you talked about the Dr. Wannabe there at the beginning with the prayers and Musa alayhi salam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, my explanation for that situation is that God, Allah, tested both the prophets, alayhi salam.
Mm-hmm.
You know, that's my explanation for it.
Mm-hmm.
And if we are now divided in several directions in the religion, as the Christians are, also the Muslims, okay?
Mm-hmm.
And if you think, of course, this diversions come from the shaitan, okay? And then think how the shaitan would operate. Would he do something that you would pray more or less?
What do you mean?
Because you also said that you pray 3 times and not 5 times, you know?
Yes, and I said it's
So
it's not a problem to pray 5 times. But it's a problem to say that God told you to pray 5 times. That's a problem.
That's a problem because it's not mentioned 5 times in the Quran.
Yes, because to say that God told you to do something when he didn't say it, that's you saying a lie about God, and who is more unjust than the one who says lies about God. That's in the Quran.
So you say it's not mentioned 5 times that you have to pray in 5 different times?
Yes,
the Quran. I know a lot of Quranites that pray also 5 times a day.
That's amazing, but the Quran consistently talks about 3 times. So this is a debate and an argument that can be had. I am not going to sit here and say that you're a kafir, but I'm saying that you might be saying a lie about God, and who's more unjust than who does that? I do believe consistently in the Quran, 3 prayers are mentioned, their times are mentioned, their names are mentioned. He's not giving you 5 names of prayers.
Okay, then, bro, if you consent, a last question.
I'll consent. But yeah, so I do want to stick to my promise. So go ahead.
Yeah. Is the earth a globe and spinning or flat and stationary?
Globe and spinning.
Then, bro, you have to be aware what you're saying, because in the Quran is written something else.
No, it's not.
It's flat and stationary.
God is saying in regards to what our eyes are perceiving. He's not telling us about the shape of the earth in the Quran. Because
that's philosophy, bro. That's not written in the Quran.
It's not philosophy. God is talking from a phenomenological point of view. He's talking from the perspective of the human being. Because if God is going to address cats, or he's going to address spiders, or he's going to address other beings, it's going to be a different type of addressing, because they have a different view from what we have. From the sensory that we have from our eyes and our ears is not the same as all the other creatures that have eyes.
Show me where in the Quran is mentioned that the earth is a globe.
My brother, I'm not telling you that God is telling you the shape of the earth in the Quran.
Of course he is, 10 times in the Quran, bro.
Okay, my brother,
He's talking about look.
Look
You
at
don't
how
look
we made the world flat, right? Look,
exactly.
look. So who's he saying? Your eyes see it flat, which is true. Your eyes do see it
No,
flat.
bro. He's
Your eyes
saying
don't see it
look,
flat.
look to
I'm
understand.
oh
To
look to understand.
understand.
No, it doesn't say look to understand. It says that don't you see how we have surfaced the world for you, how we have furnished the world for you, how we have flattened
A
it for you.
sign, exactly.
My brother, again, God, look, the shape of the earth is not going to be in a process of salvation on the day of judgment, because in my understanding, both Jesus and Muhammad would have believed that this earth would have been flat, because that is what's the data that was available for them. From the data that I have observed and what is in front of me, and from all the countries that I have traveled, it starts to make sense that the world is a globe, but it does not mean that what God has told me in the Quran is wrong, because what God is telling me in the Quran is not negating what I'm observing. I'm still observing a flat world. I'm still observing the sky on top of me. I'm still observing the suns and the moons and the stars orbiting me. I can still see that. But it does not
Okay,
mean
so
it does not mean he's talking about like how it's viewed from his point of view, or how the moon views it. He's telling me about what my eyes are seeing it, which is true.
yeah, but the one don't contradicts the other. You know, if it's flat, it could also say you see it flat, and maybe it's flat. You know,
My brother, I can take a very, very big ball, a huge basketball, and put a piece of dust on it. To the dust, the piece of I know that the ball is a ball, but the piece of dust will see it flat. It will
yeah,
not see it as a ball because it's so big compared to who it is.
yeah, that's why we see about 100 of smiles. But that's a scientific topic.
Yes,
Another one.
it
You
is.
know,
It is a
it's
scientific
about
topic.
the moon and the
So,
sun.
my
It's
brother,
written in the
according to you, if I have a very, very strong telescope, one that, for example, I could see the surface of the moon, right? I could see the craters of the moon in not a digital microscope, in one that is built on optics, just pure optics lenses, okay? I could see the moon. So if I put it straight ahead, I should be able to see at least Tokyo or Africa and the other continents.
Of course, brother.
Oh, okay, cool.
There are many videos online now.
So from North America, I would be able to see Africa, correct?
Bro, it's law of perspective. Okay,
Law
you
of
can't
perspective?
see. Yeah, you can't see forever because you don't look
My
parallel.
brother, so you're
You know?
telling me
Imagine a
you're
tunnel
telling
that
me
it
you're
would
telling
be-
me right now the moon is closer to me than Africa because of the perspective. For me, when I'm looking up at the moon and I could see the moon in its size wherever it is, right? And I could zoom in on the moon, you're telling me that the moon is now what, bigger or smaller than Africa, and that the moon is closer to me than Africa is, because I have a utensil that allows me to see the moon, but the same utensil, when I'm pointing it ahead, cannot see Africa.
Yeah, it's logical that you can't see Africa. You know,
How's that logical?
it's logical because of the law of perspective. That if
What's
you
the
go
law of
up,
perspective?
you know, if you go up, there's nothing that keeps your visibility. But if you go straight, of course, it's like a tunnel. Imagine
My brother,
a
the
tunnel.
reason why a tunnel is a tunnel, because it is surrounded by walls, so the perspective is pushing you into a wall, into a singular point, because the wall itself is coming to
Yeah,
what
and then
you're
you will see. Then you will see a
that's not,
vanishing point.
but
a
that's
vanishing point.
but that's not
You
true.
will reach it so or so, bro.
My brother, the
You know?
tunnel point makes sense because it is a tunnel and it is surrounded by a wall. So your
Exactly.
view, wait, stop saying exactly. The tunnel is limiting your viewpoint because the start of the tunnel is usually the same size at the end of the tunnel. And the further you go away, it's going to get smaller. But I'm not looking at a tunnel when I'm looking at Africa. I'm looking at a wide expanse where the light and the data is not limited by the walls of a tunnel. Just like how when I look at the moon, there is nothing that is limiting my vision.
Yeah, that's the mistake, bro.
So
That's
there
the
is no
mistake.
law of perspective being applied
bro,
here.
Bro, you see the difference? You say there's no limitation. Of course there are.
What's the
When you look-
limitation? When I'm looking at the moon,
when-
what's the limitation?
There is none. There's none. But if you look to Africa, there is one.
What's the difference between up and straight ahead and up? What's the difference
Yeah,
in
because
limitation?
there's the sea between.
The
you know?
sea? The sea is
Yeah.
causing perspective. The sea is flat.
Of course.
The sea is
Yeah.
flat, brother.
Yeah, but not your we and not your telescope, bro.
Wait a minute. So I would be able to look over the water, correct? Consistently look over the water. If I'm
till the vanishing point that
What?
appears in both models, bro. That's simple geometry.
No, my brother, there is no vanishing point when I look up in the sky as long as my eyes will start to fail. And that's what God says. Your eyes will start to fail. This is in Surah Al-Mulk. That when you look up, your eyes are not going to be able to see everything else.
Okay.
But if I get a bigger telescope,
if you look up, it's the same thing that if you look straight up, okay?
no, what I'm saying is with the right equipment, I could see further, right? So for example, forget the moon. I could see a planet with certain telescopes, albeit some of it digital and some of it actual analog. I can zoom in on a planet. And a planet, from my understanding, is much, much further than Africa. So this same utensil, the same tool that I use to see a planet, I should be able to point it down and still see right ahead. But do you know what happens at night?
Are planets mentioned in the Quran?
But wait a minute. When I look down at night, I see the sky. I don't see straight ahead. I see a star showing that the earth is going down. It's not going straight.
Bro, for that kind of argumentation, we should run the numbers for it, you know? If you can see 200 kilometers far from 2 meter highness, it shouldn't be possible due the curvature of the earth, okay? And we can see 200 kilometers from one point to the other.
200 kilometers?
Yes.
From what point
and
to one
that
point?
shouldn't be a curvation about more than 1 kilometer.
200 kilometers means that here from my position, I should be able to see a country that is a city that is 1 hour and a half drive.
Yes.
That's what you're saying.
Bro, of course there are hills and mountains between us.
Okay, so I should be able to see the first. If I sit on a mountain,
if you look it up, you can see from the Chicago skyline from 60 miles, okay, or the 90 miles. That shouldn't be possible. And then they say it's refraction.
Of course,
okay,
there's the concept of refraction, or you don't believe.
Yes,
is it over an ocean or not? Is it direct flatland or ocean?
Bro.
It's over an ocean. It's over water, isn't it?
Yeah, of course.
So if there was no water, okay, perfect.
70% of
so my brother, but the thing is, if I go to Canada, Saskatchewan, some of the flattest plains in the world, which can go up to 90 miles of complete flat land, I will not be able.
in Salt Lake City, or go to Salt Lake City.
Would not be able to see on the other end because there's no water to cause the refraction effect. Me googling my answers, bro. I'm right here. How am I googling my answers?
Of course, you're talking about the terrain. I'm talking about the sea. That's the difference here. You know, you put but for an experiment, it doesn't make sense to put it on the terrain. For an experiment, would make sense to put it on a lake.
On a lake,
or on a sea. If you can see.
So you observe. So let me get this straight. You observe the phenomena over a lake and a sea, but you cannot observe this phenomena over flat land. Correct?
Of land.
Yes. So
if the land is flat,
a scientist can come up with the
flat is. So on the Himalaya, maybe not. You know, some in the mountains. Of course, you can't see beyond the mountains.
My brother, I talked about flat plains. I took you to Saskatchewan for flat plains. I didn't take you to mountains. Okay, but the argument still stands. What I was trying to express to you is that if you're observing a phenomena when there's water, a water body between you and the two destinations or the destination, but you cannot observe the same phenomena when it's flat land, then you have to believe that the water has a factor to what is happening. Because if the water is missing, then you're not capable of reproducing it. So a scientist would factor in the water, and water is something that can refract light. But the land is not something that can refract light.
Yeah, but there is, I barely think that there is some land where 200 kilometer straight line is
completely flat.
Yes.
There's no such land?
I don't think so. Okay, maybe in Salt Lake City, of course, but then you can calculate the refraction, you know.
There's no
but
refraction
that's another topic.
At that point,
I don't want to put it in the scientific one, you know. I want to remain in the Islam one because
right, cool.
there are two different things. I don't know because I thought that it's your format, but of course we can put it in some other in the scientific direction.
if some,
I know you had only 7 minutes and you gave
it's
me
been
more than the double.
because I do believe my good brother Baba Shuaiba wants to go live, and I did promise him that I'd get off so he would do his live. So I'd try not to interfere.
All right, maybe for the next time you have some minutes for me left where we can.
I don't usually do
7:42.
Perfect. I don't usually do the flat Earth or globe Earth debate. I don't really enjoy these.
Okay. There are some scholars that talk about it. It's very interesting what they're saying.
I know, but to me, I don't care if the world is a banana. I still have to do what God has instructed me to do. Like,
of course, bro, of course. But don't think as Muslim. Think as non-Muslim. The creation is one of the biggest signs to let the non-Muslim get that there is a God.
Yes, but
and the Shaitan promised us, bro, that he will turn the creation. Right. And that's the way, bro.
But
think something.
Give me
just
a working
one
model.
Experiment, bro. Think a thought experiment. Mm-hmm. What do you think? Would more people believe in God if the Earth is flat, or if the Earth is a ball spinning in the universe? No one.
Doesn't matter. If someone wants to say that the world is flat or it's a ball,
no, it's just an experiment. What you say, A or the B?
I really don't know, because for the majority of the history, people believed that it's flat. The way that they got convinced that it's a globe, it's not just purely on speculation because of the observations and the data that was presented. It wasn't a collective effort to try to subvert people's mind. It was the repeatable evidences that people have observed and applied certain terminology for them to reach a certain observation based on a hypothesis that has been proven to be true countless of time. And now we're in the age of...
they say.
Wait a minute. We're in the age of digital information where I am capable of simulating not only the globe, but I can simulate a press, I can simulate a car, I can simulate a plane, I can simulate physics in how I'm studying it. When I take all of the factors of weather, logistics, sunrises, sunsets, and seasons, and I model it on one simulation, the computer will automatically put it on a globe, because it's not capable using algebra, which let's say like here are the data. One minute, I'll show you what I mean. Bro, I'll show you how algebra works. If I have all of this information, and the shape is an X, and I say, apply this information to a specific model, it can test every single available model in the world. And if one of them applies, then it's going to say that this is the only time that this data can be relevant, and it works only on a globe. Just by
it don't works on a globe, bro, because you have the n-body problem. Do you ever heard about the n-body problem?
Yeah.
So if you
I swear to God, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this when I get a little bit more money. I have a friend that is a pilot that would have no problem flying over the South Pole, and we're going to fly from either
it's not allowed.
It is allowed. It is allowed. No, allowed if you're not going to take it. The reason why, my brother, I've done this for a while. The reason why commercial flights do not fly over the South Pole is because they're not insurable. Insurance will not allow you to fly over the South Pole because of the severe harsh conditions of that area compared to the North Pole. But if somebody's willing to take his own insurance and then he has his own chartered flight, you are more than welcome to fly over the South Pole. You could fly from Chile. I will do
Look
it, bro.
Look up to the Antarctic Treaty. No one is allowed to go more than 60.
My brother, I will show you many flights that have been recorded over the over Antarctica, going from Chile or going from South Africa all the way to Australia. And
you're not on flight radar, bro. Just flight radar, you will not find one.
Just get on a bloody plane.
But
surely.
Can I give you 3 number, bro, about the globe model? Just 3 short number. You know how fast the Earth is spinning in this theory.
Yeah. How come we're not flying everywhere, right?
1,600, 600.
Perfect. Can you walk
666.
Can you walk on a train that's moving at 300 kilometers an hour? Can you walk forward and backwards?
Just first, let me please only give these 3 numbers, okay? And then just tell me if it's a coincidence or is something strange about it, okay? So the Earth is spinning about itself with 1,666 kilometers per hour. Then the axis of the Earth is about 23.4 degree, so minus 90 is 66.6.
666.
The theory,
Ooh, that's the
yeah,
number. What's the number? What's that number?
wait, theory of gravity discovered by Newton, a Freemason, well known. 166.
What?
Buy an apple, bro. Buy an apple. You know?
Wait a minute. So
What the fuck?
what's gravity? The force of gravity on Earth, how much is it?
No, it's when it was discovered by Newton.
Yes. What is gravity? It's 9.8 meters squared.
Oh, that's the actually here on the Earth,
Right.
more or less. Yeah.
So that's what he discovered as the speed of gravity.
It's
The pull
it's
of
a bit
gravity.
larger because it's also contained the gravitational constant. You know, it's
Sure.
not really a constant.
Okay, but 666 is not
And
a
you
number of
know,
the devil.
and
by the way.
it's not a number by the devil, bro. But some people are using this number in a statistically way that it's not realistic to be a case, bro. Okay, if there are 10 times 66 just by doing simple every time the same operation, so not plus minus multiplication.
1,675 kilometers an hour at the equator is the speed of the Earth.
How many?
1,675 kilometers per hour.
75.
Okay, 1,675.
Not 76. Not 76.
What do you mean? It's supposed to be 76?
Bro, just type 666 globe
My brother,
numbers. You will see flat Earth, and then you will see all the numbers.
Okay, but it
You
says
know,
here
also they
at the
wrote
equator,
NASA, bro.
at the equator, the speed is about 1,674.7, rounded up to 1,675 kilometers per hour. But those, I don't care.
Okay. I just want, maybe it would be some hint if some numbers would be appear too many times.
Or it's something that they can actually calculate. Like it's something that's calculatable.
Yeah, bro. By doing some assumption, but that
simply by the GPS system and the speed that I have to make a satellite stay in the same point.
Bro, there are electrotechnicians that say that radar and stuff like that wouldn't work if the Earth is not flat.
That makes no sense, brother. Because
and also pilot that say that they're flying on a straight.
But we do. You do agree that radars do work, correct?
Of course.
All right, cool. And if it turns out to be a globe, that the radars do actually work the way that they said.
And you know, the first one who sent a signal from London to New York, a radio signal, Marconi, also thought that the Earth is flat.
Cool, because radio signals work in that way, and radio signals can bounce off the atmosphere. It does not necessitate for radio signals to move in a straight line. But when we look at satellites, I cannot beam using my radar to a specific satellite and bounce it and take it to the other side of the world, because just simply you don't have that capability. But I can take it to the whole northern hemisphere, to one of the quadrants. Why? Because that's how satellites work. If what you're saying is true, I could position a satellite at the dead center of the Earth and then have everybody be able to communicate with each other. But that's not the case. You can't, because you cannot have a satellite in the dead center of the Earth and communicate with it on the southern hemisphere.
Satellites are all on balloons, bro.
Sure, even if it's on a balloon, it doesn't matter. I can put a satellite on the balloon in the dead center of your model, and I should be able to communicate with the southern hemisphere. But I cannot.
Because you can't put a balloon that high. You can put it just 100 kilometers high, maximum.
Just 100 kilometers high,
yes,
correct?
Bro.
Yes. So now you're still cooking yourself. Because if I'm at the end of the world and looking 100 kilometers up, I would be completely clear. So I could bounce from the furthest point of Earth off the same satellite and go to the other furthest point. So I should be able to communicate from both ends of the worlds if I put something 100 kilometers above the Earth.
Not necessary, bro. Not necessary. You know, it's not so simple as that. And I'm just
It is
wondering
as simple
why.
as that.
No, no,
It is
why?
because I love science, bro. Not in the science that they want to shove down my throat. It is things that I have experienced and learned myself. It's things that I think
Yeah,
are,
okay.
I know
But you
how
know, there are some experts that say something else. I'm not an expert,
and
bro.
there's
I'm
some
listening to experts, okay?
I don't need to listen to experts. What I see is
Yeah,
people,
that's what all experts say,
my brother,
I guess.
what I hear something and I go check it out
Yes.
myself. I do not need to sit and make conclusions. If someone tells me a combustion engine is burning gas by pressurizing gas and a spark plug clicks it and that moves the piston, I go verify that. And then I go understand what's the mechanism behind that. If someone is telling me that my eyeball is curved at a certain degree, where my peripheral vision is giving me almost like a concave look, which is skewing the way that I see things in my peripherals compared to what I see ahead, I start to see how the optics work, and then I start to compare it to the lenses and the things that I'm observing. I could see that similarly that the sky on top of me, when it comes down to sunrises and sunset, that the sky is doing, or the sun is doing what my eyes do. So the concept of refraction is possible. I could see that.
Of course, I don't neglect it, bro. You know,
Perfect.
the
Perfect.
refraction is there. But as I said, bro, you have to run the numbers by saying, you know,
I'll
you
run.
can make now say so and so. We have to run the number and then say, okay, if result A is appearing, then it means this, and if it's B, then it means that. So easy as that, you know.
Cool. So do you have a model that I can check out in my free time?
There's about Walter Bislin, you know, and it's also explaining how the stars. If you look the stars, bro, you know.
So what's the model that I can use for me to calculate how long it would take me to get to South Africa today? Show me the model. Because
With our flight.
my model
Or
works.
what?
No, my brother. I can give you a model of the world today on a globe, and I can show you that how this model is accurate in logistics. I'm telling you, give me your model, and I want to see if it's accurate with logistics. So my model, it has a scale that I can follow. So I can put a direction, and I could say that if I go
the Gleason map, bro, the Gleason map.
I'm not talking
There's
about
also
the map,
a scale.
bro. I'm not talking about just the map. I'm telling you about my model. Literally, the model that is in
But
front
you
of me.
can't explain it, bro. The celestial dynamic don't work.
Do you have a model? Yes or no, bro?
You know. Yeah, Walter Bislin.
What is it called?
Walter Bislin.
Walter.
Okay,
Bislin. Walter Bislin.
Yeah.
Earth.
But then I want to see your model. I want to see your model. Okay.
Yeah, go to Google Earth. Okay, so here we go.
Google Earth don't show me how the Earth is spinning with itself. And
no, I'm talking about logistics, bro. I'm simply telling you about logistics. I literally told you about logistics, bro. I don't.
Logistic. Then you need a map, bro.
No.
That's why I said the Gleason map.
My brother, the Earth, the globe that I have as a model can simulate proper air transportation, logistics from plane, trucks, cars, trains, ships, planes. All of it can be mapped out perfectly on what we have observed.
And the time zones also, right?
I'm not talking about the time zone, bro.
Oh, okay. Only logistics.
Logistics for now, because that's what.
Also, the undersea cables for internet and stuff like that. And
bro, what's that got to do with what I'm asking? Can you give me a model where I can go on a computer and simulate it? So easy, bro. Simulate travel. Yes.
You want a Google Earth?
On Google Earth, I can simulate travel. Yes.
Okay. There's nothing like that.
I know there's nothing like that because the data that we have in logistics from direction and from the times and from the times, the speed, the direction, we have done this thousands of times that the only model that would fit it is a globe. That's the whole argument. So if I'm sitting in Tokyo and I go east, I can reach Los Angeles. And if I go west, I can reach Los Angeles.
That's why I told you. Then look at the map, bro. You don't want to see the Gleason map. What's your problem?
Oh, my bro. Habibi, I can simulate that from a map from the south hemisphere and the north hemisphere, and if the points are identical, the difference is a difference in the negative. If the y is negative or the x is negative, but the numbers are the same, and I do the same path, the numbers are identical, showing that the northern hemisphere of air travel and the southern hemisphere of air travel is getting smaller and it's getting smaller. There's absolutely no way around that. Your model, it's supposed to get smaller to bigger and then bigger to even bigger, but we do not observe this bigger to bigger. What we observe is smaller to smaller. Thank you. I do have to go, bro.
All right, we will talk about that
Yes,
separately.
appreciate it.
Then. All right. Bye-bye.
Bye. Salam.
Assalamu alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Guys, I do have to go. No, I did promise. I want to stick to my promise. I'm already late by 30 minutes. So may God bless you. Thank you, Sinan. I do have to go. I wonder why the people in the southern hemisphere cannot see Polaris, but that's okay. We'll talk about it later. Bring the tea next time. I will, Mahdi. The one time it got so interesting, I do have to go, Habib. Sure, Looney, come on. You do not find these interesting, bro. Honestly, sure, Looney. Come on, man. Come on, man. The world, but I do. You know, guys, my favorite person on earth right now, you know, my current favorite person right now, she is a flat earther. Okay. My wife is a flat earther. But do you know what I tell her? See how she says current? I tell her, I don't know if I can say it on stream. Has to do with something that is not flat. And it is round. Nah, it's all good. How much Quran have you memorized? A good big portion of it. Ibn Abbas that says the world is held by a whale. Hadith science. I don't know. Nobody likes a flat earth. They like a round earth. I don't know, Kay. Ask my wife. I don't know. We'll see next time. I'm buying a globe. Bro, call me later when you can. I will, God willing. Sorry, I apologize. I'm gonna buy a globe. Put it at my wife next to my wife's what's it called? Night table. I was defending you though. I was a glober. Wait. They thought you were a glober? They thought I was a glober. Why are you insulting me? Why are you using such terminology? What's a glober? Sounds like a racist remark. Yana. You flatter. Glober. You're a gloober. The goobers. Quack. Why don't you debate Libiano? Because we agreed to a debate and then he didn't message me back. Eid is mentioned in the Quran at the end of chapter 5, but it's not the Eid that they celebrate. The concept of Eid is there. When Jesus said, let's have a Eid, God make us a Eid for us, for those before us and after us. I do have to go, guys. Enjoy your flat, people. I'll enjoy my globe world. Peace, everybody.